Working at home, good or bad for introverts? Many people dream of working at home. Getting rid of the commute is one of the best feelings for these people. It's even better when you can work at home for yourself, that is, without a boss. Well, except perhaps your spouse. But the question I sometimes get asked is whether this type of working arrangement is right for everyone. That's what we explore in this episode of Audio Answers.
Here's your coach and mentor, Bayo.
Hello and welcome. It's Bayo here, and today we're digging into the question, is working at home right for everyone? One advantage of heading into the office every workday is that you can socialize with people. Now that's great if you're an extrovert. If you're an introvert, however, this isn't something that you would consider a plus point. Many work environments have multiple team members. Some interaction will be part of the job, while others will be more of a personal nature. A frequent location for this second type is the water cooler, hence the name water cooler meetings. When you work from home, you don't get the ability, and extroverts would call this the luxury, of having face-to-face conversations. Introverts, we wouldn't miss it at all. In fact, if you're an introvert, you'd crave more of that non-face-to-face conversation time. When you work at home, you may be able to call in from time to time. However, you won't be able to look over at a colleague next to you and ask what his or her plans are for the weekend and so on. Now, if you're an introvert, that is exactly what you prefer. For introverts, working from home seems like a dream come true. This situation means never having to talk to anyone directly again. Sound the trumpets, put on the party hats. But is this truly a good situation for people who are introverted? If you're introverted, continuing down the path of no socialization can lead you astray when faced with many of the social situations that you need to have in order to be successful in this day and age. Your next job, for instance, or your next role may not allow you to work from home. The other thing is that you can lose your edge when you don't practice being with others. What's going to happen is you'll tend to withdraw from these new social situations, these new social interactions, and others may think that this behavior is, well, to say the least, odd. They may find ways to avoid you when this occurs. Being avoided, it may sound heavenly in theory, but it's not something you want to experience because we're social beings at our core. If you're an introvert entrepreneur, this isolation could hurt your business. If you're an introvert entrepreneur online, it could be the thing that ruins your dreams and ruins your chances of being able to change lives, have a business that allows you to have an impact, have the income you need in order to achieve the independence you ultimately crave. So the question is, what can you do if this applies to you? To reduce the risk of this happening, one simple thing you can do is get exposure to social interactions. Now, if you're an introvert, you're probably freaking out already, but just hear me out here. This is a fellow introvert speaking with you. I call myself a card-bearing INFJ, so I know what I'm talking about. Now, it needs to be more than talking on the phone and chatting using messaging, online messaging, which are two things that we introverts prefer to do. While these two platforms are better than no interaction at all, they are not the same as FaceTime with other human beings. Oh, and by the way, FaceTime with your pet doesn't count either. If you're in a job you can arrange to work part of your week on location and the other part at home, that's great. Now, of course, this assumes your company allows this if you work for an organization. But many companies today give the thumbs up to working from home because they don't have any space or enough space in the work environment, and hot desking is, pretty prevalent. Now, that could be a temporary situation or one that the company has no intention of changing. I've worked with clients that hot desking is really just what they do. Some of my larger Fortune 500 clients. Now, you can also make this arrangement work for you if you're an introvert entrepreneur online. If you can't make the split arrangement that I was talking about, find other ways to connect with people. You can join groups, for instance, and go to regularly scheduled meetings. If you really, really want to commit to not becoming a total hermit, why not position yourself to lead a committee within the group that you're going to? And this is assuming you will go to a group, whether it's an online group or it's a meetup or something else. But why not position yourself to lead a committee within that group, or just take on a leadership role within that group? Working at home ultimately isn't bad for introverts, but it becomes detrimental when, like anything else, it's taken to the extreme. Until next time, it's Bayo here, signing off.